Good afternoon. I was almost going to say good morning, but it's afternoon. Even for you people in the wrong time zone, it's afternoon. What's up, everybody? It's been a crazy day. Yep, another crazy day. Crazy. So, I've been working on cleaning off my desk up here, which you can't see, because all the stuff that makes all this happen is up there. So, I've been doing kind of videos of it. I don't know if they're going to be good enough to even bother editing and put together, but I may do it anyways just because, why not? But I got a bunch of 3D printed parts holding. I just put my PlayStation down under the cabinet, which is awesome. It is perfect. It's in the air now. It's better ventilated for one. It's out of my way. It's off the desktop. And the next will be the hard drives. But getting my body all contorted to get up under there and screw the brackets up, a little annoying in my old age. Plus, I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, I'm done whining. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing this afternoon. Plus cleaning and picking up stuff. You'd never know I was cleaning by the look of that mess. But that's my next tackle. That's all temporary. I'm going to paint the inside of that closet and get rid of all of that crap right there. Get it out of there. And paint the inside of it and put a proper shelving in. Or the other option is I might just be moving into the basement and moving my mother up here. Who knows? Well, so who's here? We have Andrew and Mr. Buttram and Dave and more Andrew and more Mr. Buttram and a Chris Travis. So, there you have it. What are you guys up to today? Are you at work, Mr. Buttram? I heard you went back to work. How are you on here if you're at work? Oh, let me guess. You have a computer at work. Not at home work, but work. Work. Not homework, but work. Anybody want to jump in here? I posted a whole link up there. Real work. Work. Yeah, work. Not homework. I'm sure it sucks in one way. But being stuck at home with wife and kids and everything on the commotion and trying to work, done that before. Rather go to work. Watching from my phone. Oh, that bites. Oh, boy. Monday's a freaking holiday. Isn't Monday the holiday? Or is tomorrow the holiday? I know they have to do one or the other. Now I got to look at what day they're putting it on the calendar. Independence Day observed tomorrow. They're doing the observation tomorrow, even though the 4th is on Saturday. So most people will have tomorrow off, which is good because that means my garbage will get picked up on Monday. For some reason, I was thinking it's almost always Monday. That's weird that they're doing it on a Friday. I guess it's the closer of the two to the day, actually, of the day. Sure. Makes sense, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I need to make some new mounts for this puppy to go in my PlayStation and mount it. Get it off the countertop. I'm trying to get everything off that counter, underneath my television / computer / get rid of all the wiring, or at least most of the wiring, clean it all up, and just have it a shelf there. The computer itself will stay there, and that's it. Then I can actually take the keyboard and pick it up off of this and put it there to store it if I so desire. Maybe put the iPad up there instead of having it down here and have more room down here. Just rolls around. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but what is up, Danny boy? Oh, Danny boy. But I thought you said you had to work. You're taking it off, but oh, I thought you had to work. I'm reading it wrong as usual. Yeah, I know he did. It was awesome. Did you see the whole Twitter thing? I had to tweet to Mr. Buttram because I knew he wouldn't believe it. There was no way in hell Mr. Buttram was going to believe it unless he saw it with his own two eyes. You must have gotten a good laugh when you saw that, huh, Mr. Buttram? He's like, no way, you won't believe it. That was funny. Crap. Marv Cocky. That's going to be his new name, the Angry Marv Cocky. We have to make a new something. I think we've tortured poor Chris Warcocky enough. It's time to move on to a new person to torture. Who can I torture next? Who? I gotta find someone new. Although Chris is really good at it. I mean, he's just such a perfect target, and he takes it so well, and he gives it right back, generally. Some people don't take it so well. Don't understand sarcasm. So I need to design or just download. There's a million of them there, little hangers for these things. I got two of them. One of them I actually paired to my computer, and now I can't figure out how to pair it back to the PlayStation. Well, in all reality, it's good advertisement for him for his, the social media BS. Yeah, I'm pretty much. I think I take more BS than all y'all put together. Way. Is that all you gotta do is just plug it back in? I was thinking about that. I just haven't bothered. This one pairs up with it. I only need one now, but there's going to be a bunch of people here, I guess, at the end of the month, which I'm really not happy about with my 80-year-old mother, blah, blah, blah. Got to do it. And I'm sure the younger crowd will be up in here because this is the only clean room in the house. And, I have all the cool stuff. So this will become the new living room for the day. Yeah, I don't know about that, Mr. Buttram. Y'all be whining a lot. Y'all be whiners. Wah. So, should I just download one of these that hangs it? Because there's like a billion up there. And I had one before that was all right. It was a little tipsy. It was a little too narrow. Just kind of, it's just a hook that hooked on it. Actually went this way. I guess it was all right. I mean, it worked. It was bright orange, which I'm not going to do bright orange. I'm going to do black. I need two instead of one. But I sent the bright orange one to my cousin because he really liked the bright orange. As you can see, the poison ivy is just like going up my arm now. A week and a half later, it's all up and down this arm. Wore long sleeves, didn't matter. Well, so there's that. Should I just download one? Let's go see what they got. Share screen. Should we go to Thingiverse or somewhere else? Let's go to Thingiverse. Oh, look at all the, I go through it all again. Watch both videos. UBL for stock mine. Stock bridge is correct if you have a variant of blah, blah, blah. Who cares about all that ABL, UBL crap? You don't need none of it. Just flatten the bed out and print. Let's just do Thingiverse for the kicks of it. PS4 controller. Well, let's just see what it's got for controller. I know it's going to give me a bunch of controllery crap and not hangers, but look, there are a bunch of stuff, but this one's kind of cool. PS4 stand. I'm not sure I like this one. What the hell does that do? Wall mount. It don't look like a good wall mount. It looks like it's hanging by the cord. Is it me or is that thing hanging by the cord? So they have it just hanging by the plug. I don't think so. I am not gonna. This one looks pretty decent. It's kind of an Xboxy one. I really don't want an Xbox, but they're pretty close. And will probably snap in the same. Oh, that's kind of the one I had before. That's the same thing. Yeah, that's the same one I had before. Just like a hook. Yep. I hate Yegi. Honestly, the more I use Yegi, the less I like it. Because it sends you it never matches. Worse for searches than Thingiverse is. It never matches the search. It's always screwed up. It just sends you to Thingiverse 99.9% of the time anyways. Oh, I find Yegi to be totally annoying. What's up, Vince? Yeah. I don't like these ones. There you go. But they don't show you it actually working. That's not bad. It's a little wider than the other one. It may just... That actually doesn't look terrible. It's pretty simple and basic and big enough where it won't tip off. The other one I kept worrying, kept feeling like it was going to tip off a bit. It never actually did. Just kind of felt that way. I kind of like this one better. What do you guys think? You think it's all right? What's up, Tanner? Anybody want to jump in here? Here it is again, even though I already gave it to you. Oh, look, I'm not moderated in my own moderation. Wow, what do you know? What do you know? And there's that. So I think I kind of like that one. So, download. I'm not even going to bother making my own. I'm actually going to use somebody else's for once. I very seldom do that, but why not? I'm not really in the mood to sit here and design right now. What's this one? Kind of like that one too. Oh, it looks all funky. Funky monkey. Not getting the whole what this part is. What am I missing here? Oh, I see. It's just a clip on for one of those glass table shelves. Nope, not happening. Don't have a glass shelf. Table, whatever. That's funny. Those actually work. I used to do the extenders. They do make it easier sometimes. These things right here, you can buy them. I actually like to, although I don't know, if I printed a TPU, it might be good. I printed a couple of them in the hard plastic. I didn't like them as much as the ones you could buy with the rubber caps and everything. They kind of snapped on better. What's this one? That looks different. Simple. But it looks like it's tippy. Like if you hit it even a little bit, it would just fall off. Tipsy-turvy. That's funny. I think I'll just print the one I just downloaded. It looks fine. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Let's see. I have to go to here, and then I gotta go to here. Come on, you can load. Switch accounts. Go to that one. Open this up. And why is my own account not showing up? That's kind of funky monkey. Why can't I see my own crap? That's weird. That's really, really weird. Really, really weird and stuff. Alright, don't care. Don't much care. Man, I just lost the chat window, you dumbass. That wasn't too bright. And pop out chat. After I turn off the audio. It's already off. Pop out chat. So you guys can see the link because it never even posted. Lose link. That's why. That's why you guys never saw the link, because I never moderated my other self account. Oddities of all this crap. Crappity crap, crap, crap. So if I go and I switch accounts back to 3D Llama, and then I type in there, hey, it should come here, and I should be able to take this and then switch my accounts back to live. I should now be able to moderate myself. Add moderator. And that's done. Oh boy. So anyway, oh yeah, I gotta slice that and print that thing. So let's turn on a printer. And then let's open up an idea maker. And we can share a screen again, I guess. Why not? And add whatever that thing was that I just downloaded. Downloads. PS4, controller, SDL. Am I gonna need any sports, you think? Probably right here, huh? Let's see what it wants to do all on its own. Pretty much all you need. Oh, it wants to put them down here too. This thing's not flat. He didn't flatten it. Whoever designed it. It's not flat. How do you mount it on the wall? This thing not a wall mount? Isn't that supposed to be a wall mount? Is that the wall mount? I never even looked. Thought it was a wall mount. History. Which one was it? It was that one. Yep. So, how's it gonna? Oh, all right. That is the wall mount. It's just that little flat panel screws to the wall. Okay, that'll work. I can make that work. But I think I will take it and sink it into the bed a little bit. Why isn't it changing the position? That's new. Negative 0.25. Start slicing. This support's been added. Yes. Are these supports in there? Sorta not. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that. An hour and 2 hours, basically. That'll work by me. That will work, I believe. So let's go over to the Lamacore, which the Duet freaking web control is like way slower than it used to be with the new one. It used to be like instant, it would load. Now it sits there and gets a spinning wheel all the time. Kind of want to go back to the old version. Turn the heater on, kick it up to 65, kick it up to 205. So you could probably make it 200. I'm gonna. Although it's gonna hit 205 because I didn't change the. Starting tomorrow, I figured. You're screwed. Do you get to sing and dance today? Obviously not, or you'd be there now, because this is usually right around when you're heading out there, huh? Jobs. What do I have in here? Whole bunches of crap I don't need anymore. Delete. Delete them all. Don't need any of them. Take them off the SD card. Oh, you are working tonight. Well, that's good at least. At least you get one more shot. Delete. No jobs. What's up, Robbie Mac? What's up? Holy crap, it's late for you, Cubs. Yep. It is kind of late for me. I'm usually a morning streamer, but there was too much crap going on, and Nutcase was here, and she finally left. Thank God. I was doing stuff, and crap. So let's upload a G code. Upload controller hanger thingy. You two with your wingman is kind of making you wing nuts. Yes, I would like to print that. Thank you very much. I may print two. I may, and then again, I may not. Yeah, where he's warning it, you might get extra busy tonight because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I won't be able to get back in." So you might get extra people showing up because they won't be able to get in there as of tomorrow. Yeah, I don't see them winning that fight. That's a fight I just don't see him winning. Everybody's going back into lockdown again, round 2, because the whole UV light thing isn't real. The whole it's all going to go away was just a make-believe. Lots of rearranging. What are you rearranging? You work from home. What are you rearranging? Your home? Don't you want to go to your home? It's your home. Why aren't you in your home? It's your home. One of the best movies ever. Happy Gilmore. Great movie. Love that movie. Awesome movie. So, Mr. Printer's heating up. And then it's going to start printing. Where's it at? We have a Tanner. What's up, Tanner?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So we'll see.
Round 2. I mean, at least you got a little freaking reprieve from, the whole thing. I guess.
Yep. Got to make a little bit of money for a little while. Yeah.
Well, it's not even the money so much. I mean, I know the money's good and everything. You need your money, but just being able to freaking get out there and do it for a little bit, even if it does go back in the lockdown, at least you got, a week or 2 of practice, if nothing else.
Right. Yeah. Knock the rust off. And the order he made today was to shut it down for shut all the bars down for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, we're having problems here because, we're now the number 1 best state in the country, and yet there's a bunch of people going, we're going to fireworks, don't lock up the fireworks, don't shut down the fireworks. And we're all like, even the Mohegan Sun, who wants to open, was like, yeah, we're not doing the fireworks. The Mohegan Sun has the largest fireworks display in the state because, they have money. It's a casino. And they pretty much bought out the fireworks producer guy, whatever he is. So they have this massive, humongous. It's actually usually the week after. We always have our fireworks the week after the 4th of July. Because the company that does it usually does the White House fireworks. It's the same company. Which the Mohegan Sun, I guess, bought. They actually bought the company out, the fireworks production company, whatever.
Right.
But, it's one of them big, super duper fancy. They do it out in front of the submarine base out in the middle of the river. And it's like humongous. People line both sides of the rivers for miles and miles and miles and watch the fireworks. And, it's all music, the whole deal.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah, they canceled the 4th of July fireworks in Nashville as well. My S4, after I got that, I haven't had a chance to test that flex plate yet because I still haven't had a chance to. I'm going to have to find and print a new Z in-stop bracket.
Why?
Because the one that's on it will not go low enough.
Oh.
I've got it all the way bottomed out, and the nozzle's still that far off the bed.
That's kind of an easy fix, but I highly recommend getting one that's adjustable. So, like I do, not to do the whole thing, but when I level my bed stays. I never touch those 4 screws again. I adjust just that one end stop screw. All of my printers now have a single end stop adjustable screw.
Yeah, the way the end stop's mounted on the S4, it's just, it's mounted into 2 T-nuts. 2 bolts and 2 T-nuts. Yeah. You loosen them and you can slide it up and down. And I've slid it as far down as it'll go, and it's still, the nozzle's that far off the bed.
I wonder if my little one that I have will work for you. Probably.
And I tried, loosening the knobs on the corners, and the knobs are too loose by the time it gets the bed up that high.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nope, can't do that.
Well,
they're so loose, they fall off.
Stack some crap underneath the spring so you can loosen them up more.
Yeah.
Use a slightly longer screw and just throw some. I've done that too. Put some pads underneath the springs to raise the bed up, but you're better off actually lowering the nozzle if you can, because you're gaining. Granted, it's only like a millimeter or two probably, but it's a millimeter or two more height that your printer didn't have.
I've got an ABL. I just don't know the first thing about putting it on. So,
yep. Which is why they're just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I've got one. It's still in the bag behind the row of filament you see there.
You'll spend more time trying to get that thing to work than if you just freaking level your bed properly and be done with it.
I bought it from TH3D and I have no clue what I'm doing with it. So,
and perfect first layer. No ABL. We don't need no stinking ABL. Yeah, you just don't know better. You've been brainwashed by the ABL brainwashers. Wait until you guys see. I got to do this. I recorded a video. I mounted my PlayStation underneath the cabinet with some 3D printed brackets, blah, blah. And I've recorded mounting it. I did a terrible job, but I think I'm going to do it anyways because I used blue tape.
And now that I've switched to the direct drive, I'm not even sure what mount I would need for it because it's not it won't be the same mount as before.
Running the wires and plugging it in and setting up the firmware and all that crap is just a pain in the butt. Wham. Anyway,
well, 3D printing and painting it's probably simple step by step if it were still running the stock hot end, but it's running the Bondtech direct drive now.
What printer is it going on?
The S4.
S4 is a what?
CR10 S4.
Oh. I'm trying to think if my bracket would work. I got one that you like screw on and it's small and it's got the rocker built into it. So you can adjust the height.
Might have to look for a mount that mounts it around back or something. I don't know.
Well, mine mounts to the side of it instead of on the front of it.
Yeah, because I don't know if there's room now. Because now the extruder is on the hot end.
Because basically, with that, thinking about it, it would probably
on the right side of the Bondtech, 2 screw holes. Let me see. Oh, sure is.
Can you pick that thing and bring it over here?
No, I just got up to go look. There sure is.
What?
So I guess there's a mount out there for it already. Cool.
On the right side of the Bondtech, there are 2 screw holes. Yeah, that's right. I think there was Micro Motor Warehouse. God, I haven't seen them guys in years. They build little itty bitty high tech freaking quadcopter mini motors. They go really, really fast.
Well, I thought it was behind there. Well, now I got to find the ABL. I thought it was in there. It's not.
ABL ain't gonna do you no good if it still ain't going along.
And then I got this the other day and haven't had a chance to open it either.
Filament 1. Filament 1. What you got there? Subscription box?
The Profi box they sent me for letting them use the
the bottle for the advertisement.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's one way to get paid. Free filament is good payment. Good for both of you. It doesn't cost them squat. Probably costs them more to ship it to you than it does to actually make the filament.
Yeah, so that's the June profile box. I got it a couple days ago.
The CR tank. Oh my God, Buttram, you've been hanging out with me too long. You can't freaking type anymore.
No, CR tank.
He's on his phone. That's why.
The CR tank. Greg 3D made a mod, the direct drive mod, and he called it the CR tank.
Oh, I didn't know that was an actual thing.
Yes, he called it the CR tank, and then Bondtech, partnered up with him on it. I don't know if he gets some sort of kickback for all the units they sell or what, but they made a production version of it, and that's why on the SLS printed part it says with Greg 3D.
Cool.
On the part.
Struggling with carbon fiber PLA. I'm trying to print stuff in. Don't try to make me wrong too. You're wrong once in a while. You're very, very wrong. You're just wrong because you're who you are.
So my only pause right now is I really need to get the S4. I may have to put the glass plate back on and print the parts because the only other printer that I have that prints worth a half a crap is the Tornado, and its dimensional accuracy is not good. Like I could not print like the tires on the Tornado and the wheels on the S4 and then put them together. They wouldn't go together.
Yep, you are very false, Mr. Buttram. You're always false. You're wrong. Ha! I love picking on Mr. Buttram. It's fun. Clip the flex to the glassware for you, Prince. Yeah, you could do that. Or you could just mount a proper end stop.
Right, but I would like to use the printer that actually prints well to print the new end stop too. So.
Yeah, well, you could print it real quick on the other one, get it working, and then reprint it with the good one. It's just an end stop. I could probably design you one in about 10 seconds. Pull that end stop bracket off real quick. All I need to do is look at it. I can literally design you one in Fusion in literally like a minute. It'll take me longer to fire up Fusion than it will be to design one for you.
That's all right. Because I may even be able to modify that one. I just haven't pulled it off yet. Because I think there's room on the bottom of it that I could shave off.
Take the Dremel to it.
Yeah. Well, I got files here. Just file off. I got sandpaper here. Just sand off the bottom. Because it only needs to come down that much farther.
Yeah, like a little
that much farther.
Yep. You want to take like 2 millimeters off so you have the ability to adjust it back up a little bit, up or down.
Right.
Go a little farther.
But that's all the farther it needs to come down. And looking at it, it looks like I have room to shave off on the bottom of it, and not interfere with any of the original mounting holes or anything.
And then change for this and that, and change the offsets, and then the mounts, and then you got to hook it up, and then you got to wire it. I guarantee it's taking you longer to do all that crap than it is to just level your bed. I gotta screw with these guys. It's just too much fun.
Well, and since I put the direct drive on there, I almost never have to re-level anything.
No.
Before the gantry would get all out of whack, and then I'd have to re-level everything.
Yeah, because it would sag.
Yeah. Every time I change filament.
Yep.
Because the amount of time it took you to change filament, the motor would relax a little bit and allow that side to sag while you're pushing on it and trying to get the filament in through the Bowden tube. But now you don't have to push on anything. You just barely touch that filament at the top, and you click the little encoder wheel, and it just sucks it in.
Yes, it does. Yeah, the Bondtech was pretty nice. I wish they'd make a whole hot end kind of like the Humera is, because I think it would be better. They just make it so you can take the Bondtech, put a metal body on it, and I know I think Triangle Labs has done it, but everyone complains it doesn't have enough cooling. But just like stuff the heat sink or the heat break into the Bondtech extruder and be done with it. That is one big sheet.
So once I get it all set up and this working, all the upgrades I really viewed as things I have to do. There are things I still want to do, but things I have to do will be done. The things I'd still want to do, I would like to put a better board in it than the stock Creality board at some point on down the line. And I would like to maybe do the modification where you move all the electronics underneath the printer so you don't have the side box anymore.
Right, so I like 3D printers. Which one is it? The S10? What is the end stop on that thing?
And I am kind of intrigued because I got the textured PEI. I'm intrigued by how well that's going to stick and the texture on the bottom of the prints and stuff. And at some point I may order a second sheet with the smooth PEI on it. So if I have something that I want to have a smooth bottom, I can. Because it wasn't the sheets that he was always running out of, it was the magnets he was always running out of. When he finally got the magnets in stock, I was able to order it.
Where the hell is the end stop on that thing? On the left side or the right side?
It's right there.
It's too far away for me to see.
It's
on the
right
left
under
side.
where the extruder used to go. It's on the left.
And what's it butt into? The carriage?
What's that?
What's it actually butt into? The wheel or the carriage?
The plate on the bottom of the...
Oh, that it hits the bottom of the X extruder, huh?
Yeah, it's the plate that mounts the X-axis.
And it screws to the 2020, 2040, and not to the body?
It's attached above the T bracket that's on the side.
Oh, right. There's a T bracket there.
Yeah.
That's why you can't lower it, huh? Because it's hitting that T bracket.
Right. It's as far down as it'll go. But I think if I take it all the way off, I can shave the bottom of it off, and then it'll go that couple millimeters lower that I need it to go, because that's literally all it needs.
Yep, that would probably work.
Yeah, it just literally needs a couple millimeters further down.
Well, come on. Get to
I'm
it.
not doing it today. I'm going to work in 2.5 hours.
Your tone of voice is perfect. I'm not doing it today.
No, I'm going to work in 2.5 hours. I'll have all kinds of time if Mayor Cooper's right.
Yeah, it sucks too, but that's life. Tomorrow's another day.
If Mayor Cooper's right, I'll have the next 2 weeks off.
Hurry up and procrastinate.
Well, I got to get that house. I got to get that house in Missouri shut down and everything moved out of it. We're meeting with the realtor to go view properties this weekend for us, and so that means packing up and moving this house. So I'll have one house to shut down and move everything out of and bring stuff here that doesn't get thrown away, and then all the stuff I bring here, plus all the stuff that's already here, will have to be then packed up and moved
That's when you take all that stuff you're moving in the first place, just put it. It's the one time a storage unit is worth it.
We're thinking about getting a pod.
Yeah, those work too. I'm not big on them. Those are kind of pricey and like.
Right, but the thing with the pod is we could just have them hold on to it while we do some stuff, because it's going to depend a lot of it's going to depend on what we move into. Like if there's some painting or flooring work that we want to do before we move everything in, we don't want to move everything in. I'd rather have it sitting somewhere else, do all that, and then call them, have them drop the pod off in our driveway, and then move our furniture in.
How come more Cocky's message didn't show up in chat? It's in the StreamYard's chat, but it's not in the chat, in the YouTube chat. That's weird.
I don't know.
I'm a property, whatever that's supposed to mean. But it never showed. I mean, do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
You see it in the StreamYard's chat, though, right?
Right, but I don't even have the YouTube chat open anymore.
Yeah, but it's not in the YouTube chat. Which is weird. I know you're on YouTube, but it didn't show up.
Yeah, because it's got the little, YouTube logo on it.
Yeah. But it never popped up in the YouTube chat. Everything he's doing now did.
Your chat.
Okay, stop chatting so I can. I have a feeling it's just because of that bracket he put in there. It's some kind of thing that YouTube didn't like.
It may have viewed it as like an attempt at like an SQL injection.
Yeah, or some kind of link or something. And he wasn't a moderator, so he couldn't do links.
Well, like back when I used to build websites, and back before they had things all pre-built for you, I had to write, like the login security scripts and stuff. And so you had to look in logins and not allow characters that could be used in an SQL injection.
Yeah. Injection. That just sounds like pornographic.
Right. But all it takes is to have one of the sites you built be victim of it once for you to have to sit down and engineer a way to keep it from happening. But we always ran backups on all of our, we had cron jobs to run backups on all the sites daily. And we kept them all on a server in Office. So we could always roll back to a backup the last time it was working.
Oh my God. You did it, Mr. Buttram. Where's John Mack? He's going to pop in. He heard you. I guarantee you. His ears are freaking ringing. Where's John Mack? No resin printer developments? No. Freaking guy that was like, I'm not even sure I'm going to do resin printer 6 months ago, and it's now like solely resin printer. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I tried to get that the one time to get the Elegoo Saturn, and then the second day that they had their second batch release, I was working during, so I couldn't even try the second time.
I'm just not even interested right now because
now I feel like
place to run one.
I feel like anything that doesn't have a 4K monochrome screen and that build volume available would be pointless. Also, I've put a freeze on buying anything that I have to move.
Yeah, that's probably a smart idea. Especially
like,
goopy, resiny, floppy stuff like that.
It's like I'm getting ready to move, so I need to. Like my wife was telling me that I could sell this and this and this and order a Prusa that I've always wanted, and I'm like, yeah, it takes Prusa like 2 months to get your printer to you. we're probably not going to be here in 2 months. I don't want the next person that moves into this house to go, oh, what's this big box?
Yeah. You can change your shipping address, though.
Well, I don't want the complication of trying to change something mid-ship.
Yeah. Well,
so we'll wait to get where we're going, see what our situation is, where we're going. Because I may not even have, wherever we go, I may not even have a pre-designated area to do any of this.
you could always just go to where Cocky's house and just, drop him the money and walk out with one of his printers and say, see you, dude, and run.
So wherever we go, I may end up having to set some stuff up before, I can really get back to any of this. So we'll see. There's so many things hanging in the balance right now that we don't know.
Yep, it is what it is. Welcome to the real world.
From my job to where I'll be living in a month or two to all that. We don't know any of it. That's funny, Mr. Buttram, because my drummer's name is Chad.
Whatever.
And the drummer that I hired after Rocco moved to Myrtle Beach.
Use the living room for your hobby room? Yeah, no. Nope, not happening.
Well, my current makerspace.
I haven't even checked it because I know it's just awesome.
My current makerspace is a bedroom. But
So
again, wherever we're moving right now, we have no idea how many bedrooms, bathrooms, what kind of space, because we're still shopping. So
yeah. Well, you're moving into a house, so you'll probably have more room because that's not actually a house, right?
No, this is a house. This is a 1,700 square foot house with a 2-car garage and a bonus room above the garage and 2.5 bathrooms.
I thought you were in like a duplex.
No. I'm just tired of being in a subdivision.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
I'm tired of sidewalk running right in front of my house where my dog barks at everybody that walks their dogs up and down the sidewalk all day long and barks at every kid that rides their bicycle by the house.
Yep. And you're moving a little closer to the real world, right?
Moving closer to work, yeah. That's the plan anyway. Definitely 100% not getting farther.
Yeah.
We might only save ourselves 5 or 10 minutes.
It's still 5 or 10 minutes, man. That adds up every year.
Drive. But we're going to move in that general direction, yes. Because we've already said
gas, cars are cars.
We live off exit 1 in Clarksville. We've already said we won't move anywhere that's not at least exit 11 or farther, closer. So we're going to move at least 10 miles closer. Any way you look, any way you slice it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
But it's a matter of trying to get what we want in the price range we want that determines how much closer we get to get, because things get more expensive the closer you get.
Oh, well, that's, yeah.
Exponentially, by the time you get in Nashville, it's exponentially more expensive.
You don't want to be in Nashville anyways.
No.
Then you're in a worse position where you are now. You end up being clustered all together with everybody else.
Well, no, I mean, there's rural areas that are part of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah,
but
they're millions and millions of dollars, not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Davidson County, you have to pass emissions tests to register your vehicles, and
yeah, you should be doing that anyways. We even have that.
We don't have that here.
Really?
Yeah. If your check engine light's on, they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care here in Montgomery County. Your check engine light can be on, and here's your plate. Here's your tags.
As long as it runs? As long as it runs, they don't care.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, you're responsible for your vehicle, of course, but so like safety things, you check it yourself. But like when I lived in Missouri, there was safety and emissions testing that had to be done every time you had to renew your plate.
Yep, we have that here. Ours
And
is
you, and you could count on every time your plate was up for renewal, you could count on $3,000 to $5,000 worth of work that had to be done to your car.
Yeah, no, we don't have that. For one, we have a limit.
You would take it to get inspected, and every garage there was looking to milk you for everything that they could.
They can't even do that here because we're now. It used to be, you stick the pipe in the tailpipe and they do all the crap. Now it's not even that. They just walk up, freaking stupid damn mail program, go away. Just pops up for no reason. Now they just plug it into the computer. They run it. You got to run it for at least 10 miles beforehand.
If in Missouri, if your car was more than 5 years old, you could count on every time you went to put plates on it, and I mean every time, you were going to be replacing the EGR valve, the oxygen sensors, possibly the catalytic converters, and you were going to be replacing the ball joints, the
we don't have any of that
shocks,
anymore.
all of it. All of it was going to have to be replaced, and like I said, it was $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every time your plates came up for renewal if your car was more than 5 years old.
No, we have a limit. If you don't pass emissions, the most you can spend is $500.
Well, that's just emissions.
Otherwise, you'll get an exemption.
In Missouri, I'm talking about the safety inspection.
Oh, the safety inspection, we're pretty gnarly here when you first get it registered. But that's only when you first get it registered. It never goes.
No, Missouri, you have to have that in order to renew your plates.
Yeah, no. Rhode Island does that too. They do that every other. Your plates get renewed every 4 years, but every 8 years you have to go and get it inspected again.
Missouri, it was every 2 years. You could get 2-year plates or you could get 1-year plates. You could choose. And it depended upon the year your vehicle's manufactured. So, like, if you bought a vehicle that was manufactured on an even year and you were getting it renewed in an even year, you could get 2-year plates. If you bought it was manufactured on an odd year and you're trying to get it registered in an even year, you could only buy a 1-year plate. And then the same time next year, you're going for a safety inspection again. And like I said, every garage would see you coming. When you went in there for safety inspection, they're going down the list and failing everything.
Christmas tree on the visor. Yeah.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter how good a shape it was in. I had one of my Fieros. I rebuilt the entire front end on it myself. And I mean, new ball joints, everything, new tie rods, the whole thing. And I took it in for inspection, and the guy comes back and says that the ball joints are old and worn out and the tie rods are failing. And I was like, really? Because I've still got the receipt for them from AutoZone from last week.
Yeah, that's scammers.
Yeah. And every garage was like that. Everyone. You couldn't find an honest mechanic in Missouri. It's crazy. I finally did find an honest mechanic in Missouri, and I took all my business to him. But basically, any of the like big box mechanics kind of places, the big corporate places, they were gonna all do that to you. And I think it was because they paid their mechanics by the jobs they did and not by. So every one of them was looking to get, line themselves up with plenty of work.
Yeah. There's really no difference, Robbie Mac. That's why we used to be really strict on the inspections, 20 years ago, and they've faded away. To literally all we inspect now is they do emissions it's not even every year anymore. It's like every third year. And again, it's just plug it in and that's that. And we do a full safety inspection when you change your plates. Like if you buy a new car, it's got to go through and when you first register, it's got to be fully inspected. Other than that, we don't inspect or change or do anything. We don't have any more accidents or problems than we ever did before.
And when you buy a car here, when you go to get the plates for it, you take them the title, the bill of sale, your ID, and 2 proofs of residency. You hand them $40 and they hand you a plate.
Yep.
You walk out the door.
We get
Oh,
text
insurance.
insurance.
It's that easy.
That's not right either. I mean, they should be inspected and make sure that, just for safety's sake, for people that aren't mechanically inclined, so they know they're not driving a total dump box.
But
I mean, it should be inspected.
I don't see any more or less accidents due to equipment failure than I did in Missouri. I really don't.
You really don't, no.
But that's because I think most people know, okay, my car's making a grinding noise. That's not right. I'm going to go have somebody take a look at it.
Yeah.
There's usually a noise, a rattle, a grind, something before something fails.
Yeah, true.
Usually. I would say 99 times out of 100.
I love the one friend of mine used to do, like mechanic works and stuff. Actually, my uncle did too, but a friend of mine used to do a lot of it. And, he'd do it out of his garage, just help people out, and, change brakes. And some friend of his mother's came in, and this lady was like totally clueless. She was like, I think I need new brake pads. She's like, all right, I'll get you some brake pads and they'll fit your car. And, he charges them like $50. And it's, it's cheap, but it's not like he works hard on it. He's like, you leave the car for a day or two, and when I get to it kind of deal. It's like, not his main job. It's just goofing off. She's like, all right. So she drops the thing off. We're all over there hanging out, drinking beers, and he jacks it up, takes the tire off, and we all started bursting out laughing. Because not only did she wear through the pads, but she wore through the back of the pads. And all there was a piston on the caliper rubbing up against the disc, and it gouged right to the cooling fins on the disc. And that's what she was hearing, was the cooling fins rubbing against the piston head. The pads were gone. They weren't even there anymore.
Right.
I was like, holy crap, how is she stopping this freaking car at all?
You see stuff like that every once in a while, but I mean that's not the norm.
I mean, it was a little old lady. She probably drove it to the grocery store and back, and that's it. But oh my God, it was just, I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. It was just like completely devastated.
The 2000 Dodge Durango we had it for 3.5 years, and in 3.5 years I put two sets of ball joints and tie rod ends on it, and it was ready for it again when it got totaled. So in 3.5 years, it had gone through 2 complete sets of ball joints and tie rod ends.
What are you, driving down dirt roads?
No. Poor engineering.
Oh, you mean like my Ford Maverick? God, the old 70s Ford Mavericks? Those are awesome. You drive down the highway and you're going, and it just felt like you could take the steering wheel and hand it to your passenger. That's how it felt.
and like Dodge in their
wishy-washy car I've ever driven in my life.
Dodge in their infinite lack of wisdom. I had to replace the rear wheel bearings. Well, it was just the left side had gone bad, but I went ahead and replaced both while I was at it, because in order to change the wheel bearings on a 2000 Dodge Durango, you've got to drain the rear differential, take the differential cover off, pop the axle half shafts out.
Yeah, there's a couple of Dodges that are like that. Ford did that.
You got to take the axle half shafts clear out of the differential.
It's part of the freaking axle hub.
And then pound those off, pound the new ones on, slide it back in, clip the axle back into the differential, put the differential cover back on, fill the differential back up. I'm like, what engineer thought this was a good idea?
Too. The old International pickup trucks. I don't know if you remember them. You're probably not old enough.
Yeah, well, a friend of mine had one in high school.
The old, they looked like a regular pickup truck, but they were all 4-wheel drive live axle. They were just like, you don't want to go around a corner at speed with them because the wheels didn't have slip, so it would hop. But if you needed to go somewhere in the woods, there was no stopping that thing. But oh man, both the front and the rears to like fix anything on those drive shafts was just, I mean, to change the brakes, you literally just dropped the whole freaking front end or rear end out of the thing and just went to it. But you couldn't kill them. I mean, you got that thing going through the woods. It could, you know, crap could break, and you could still just keep plowing through the woods.
Well, like I had to do wheel bearings on a Chevy pickup one day. I helped a friend do it anyway, and it was no big deal. We unbolted everything, bolted all the new stuff on, and had him back on the road in like half an hour.
Yeah.
But those rear wheel bearings on the Durango, it literally took a whole weekend because I asked it at the honest mechanic that I finally found how much, and it was $1,200 to put wheel bearings.
Like a 70s Toyota or 80s Toyota. I think it was an 80s Toyota. I don't even remember what it was. Easiest brakes I've ever done. It literally, the caliper had to have been 80s because it was a disc. It wasn't a drum. But you literally like pulled the pin in the back of the caliper, the whole thing rotated up. You took the two pads out, you put the new two pads in, you rotated it down, put the pin back in, done. It literally took you more time to get the pin free because it was always kind of rusted in place than it was to do the whole rest of the job.
Yeah, the most major repair I've had on our Honda Pilot since we've owned it. The most major repair I've had on that Honda Pilot was a window regulator, the power windows. One of the windows quit rolling up and down. The regulator burned up.
Yeah, that happens.
And I had put a new window regulator in Chevys before, which they're a pain in the butt because they're always riveted in. You've got to drill out rivets and all that kind of stuff. Well, Honda's engineered theirs so much better in like 20 minutes. I had the door panel off. I had the old regulator out and was putting the new one back in.
Yep.
The whole repair took like a half an hour. And that's the most major repair I've had to do to my Honda Pilot. And it's got 250,000 miles on it.
Yeah, my van's got that, but it needs a lot of work. I got to figure out what's wrong with the transmission next. I'm just not going to bother. It's become a yard truck more than a road vehicle. Farthest it's gone in like 3 months is to the dump it back, and that's only 2 miles away. I haven't driven it anymore. Not going to anymore. Too much wrong with it. I should just sell it. I could probably get more than what I paid for it just because of the whole suspension and everything set up on it. I have one of the few, you know, it's a 1-ton freaking minivan. You just don't see them. And it's, you know, it's not an aftermarket kit. It was a stock GM 1-ton special order minivan. Astro van.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Astros, they had the work truck versions of the Astros, which were...
Well, this is, if you look at mine, you'd think it was a dragster or something. The rear end's all jacked up.
Yeah.
Made to carry, it was originally carrying coils of internet wire, and that's all it did. It had a hydraulic lift. You'd push a button and it would lift the coils up into the van. It was all factory original. You know, GM made it. Actually, I think it was a dealer installed option, but it was a...
Yeah, we had a... when I worked on the shipping dock at Aventus, we had a delivery driver that would come and go, and he had a little Astro van, and he was, you know, private contractor delivery driver.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw him, I gave him some crap because there wasn't hardly an inch of the vehicle that wasn't rusted. Like the exterior of the whole thing was just rust. There was no paint left on the vehicle. And
because mine's perfectly clean. That's the one thing I do like about it.
And he said he bought it from new. It was on its third water pump, but it was still the original engine, original transmission, and he had over 780,000 miles on it.
I put like 4 water pumps in mine until I used to take it to the dealer and have it do it because I hate, you know, it's a van, so you can't get there. I hate working on it. You got to literally pull the whole nose of it off. I went through 3 water pumps. Finally, I said, screw it, I'm going to do it myself. Bought a refurb for $25. Put it on there, and I've had no problem since doing it myself. Every time I get a dealer or garage to put one on, it lasts me 6 months tops. And I've had it for 12 years now. 10 years? 12 years. I love that.
Yeah, I do not miss Robbie. I don't miss having that Durango. We had that Durango for a while, but now the funny thing is I bought the Durango for $2,000, and I drove it for 3.5 years, and then when it got totaled at the pulling through a fast food parking lot, somebody backed out, and I mean when they backed out, they like floored it as they backed out, and they T-boned it. And I knew because of how little the vehicle's worth, I'm like, well, this is going to be a total when the insurance comes out to take a look at it. And my wife's like, you think so? It's really not that much. I mean, they popped a tire and they bent a wheel and they dented a fender and I'm like, yeah, and they broke the front suspension on that side. And I was like, just fixing the paint alone where they hit the fender is going to cost more than the vehicle's worth. And so the insurance adjuster, comes out, walks around the vehicle, makes all of his marks, gets on the phone, and walks up to me and says, so less your deductible, we're prepared to cut you a check today for $2,500. Give me a check. Yeah, it's a total loss, and less your deductible, we're ready to cut you a check today for $2,500. I said, I'll take the check.
Freaking thing ain't worth $2,000. No, $2,500.
Right. I couldn't wait. As a lot of times you have that sad feeling when you've driven a vehicle for a while and it goes away. You miss it as it's pulling away. I was dancing with my check. I was like, it's gone. I won't have to rip apart the whole suspension on the thing every year anymore.
Yeah, Dodge is kind of, I don't know.
It was a piece of junk.
I
would never own another Durango in my life. Or Dakota.
Like the look of the new Challenger and Charger and all that. They look nice, but you get in one and you ride in it and they're stiff and freaking uncomfortable.
Well, and I don't know about you, and it's maybe because the people that buy them drive the piss out of them.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many of them I've seen broke down on the side of the interstate.
Yep.
So many of them broke down on the side of the interstate. Usually Challengers.
You know what I almost never see, and they've been out a while, are the new Camaros and the new Mustangs. Both of them just...
And the people that buy those beat the piss out of them just the same.
You get some of both. I mean, there's a lot of people that buy those Camaros and just baby them. Although I guess the Mustang's actually more ballsy. I like them both. Somewhere to hand me one or the other and say choose. I can't choose. I like them both.
Around here, all those cars, they beat the piss out of them.
Yeah.
But around here, it's rednecks and soldiers around here, and they all, when they buy those cars, they buy them and drive them hard.
Yep, because we got the sub base and the National Guard and all that, like right here. It's all military in this area. You got the sub base, you got electric boat, you've got freaking all you've got yeah.
So there are tons of
Stonehead.
There's tons and tons of Challengers and Mustangs and Camaros and jacked up pickup trucks around here.
Yep, buttloads of what we got around here.
So many. In fact, I could probably look out my front door right now, and I bet even now in the middle of the day, I'll see no fewer than 5 jacked up pickup trucks from my front porch.
Yeah, we got a few of those here. Not as many.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee you don't have as many as Tennessee does.
No, you'd be surprised, actually. There's a lot of hicks around here, which is fine. I don't mind.
Yeah. No, them redneck boys like the ones that make me scratch my head and go, what the hell were they thinking, are the ones that do what do they call it? It's called like the Carolina squat, where you jack up the front of the pickup truck but you leave the rear end down.
Why?
It's a trend. It's a trend that needs to go away.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid. We used to be the other way. We jacked the rear end way up in the air. So that way when you get going, it just swirled around and had no traction.
Yeah, I think it's called the Carolina squat is what they call it.
Makes no sense. Why do people do stupid crap?
I'm like, well, because there's also no way you could have any clue how close the front end of your vehicle is to hitting what's in front of you.
They don't care.
Performance drawbacks aside, when you're angled up like this.
That's just like the whole, bouncy car thing they all do. At least that, I kind of appreciate the engineering and mechanics of it, having the hydraulics that bounce the car up and down and everything. I mean, it looks stupid to me, but
right, it's not my cup of tea.
It's still a pretty cool effect that you can make the car do that.
You see those guys that can literally make the cars hop clear off the ground?
Yeah.
The amount of hydraulic force that takes.
Yep.
And when you stop to consider that it's not just the weight of the car, it's the weight of all the batteries that those hydraulic systems require that they're launching into the air. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I just don't.
It's not my thing.
Mine either. I don't even really get the jacked up trucks that much. I mean, if you're going to be like out in the woods using it, yeah. If you're going to be doing shows like, the truck shows where they drive over each other and the, Bigfoot or whatever they are.
Yeah. I don't get
drive one around and get, 4 miles per gallon because it's cool with the big tires. Why?
Yeah. I understand mild lifts.
Yeah.
That are reasonable, that give you a little more ground clearance for if you're off-road,
Yeah, to actually use it. If you're going off-road and playing in the woods, and that's cool, it's fun. I used to do it as a kid. We did it.
But so many of these guys you see driving down the street with 38-inch tall tires, and those tires ain't never set foot on anything but asphalt or concrete.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It was like
there's a bunch of around they buy the dualies and jack it all up, and they never use it.
A couple weeks ago, this one will get you. A couple weeks ago, young gal, probably in her 20s, maybe early 30s, but she wasn't older by any means. Driving a crew cab Dodge dually with the mega cab dually lifted with huge tires. And I was sitting already stopped at the stoplight, and then she came up in the next lane. So I saw her as she went by me, and she pulled up further. And that's when I noticed she'd had the hitch receiver removed from the truck.
Because that's a gas.
The hitch receiver was gone. I'm like, why do you have a 1-ton crew cab dually that's not even capable of towing anything?
It's just a looky thing. Look, I can waste money.
I was like, so somebody got some money because it was new, and a new crew cab dually like that, and then put another probably $7,000 or $8,000 into lifting it. That's probably $80,000-$90,000 truck.
And to get 8 miles per gallon.
Well, it was a diesel. It probably did better than that.
Yeah. Okay. 9.
Yeah. Turbo diesels actually do.
Waste.
Those turbo diesels actually do much better than gas engines in those big trucks.
Yeah, but they still don't. They still don't get good gas mileage.
No, they're not. I mean, it's not a fuel efficient vehicle by any means.
No.
What is the mileage on those? EPA.
$11 to 14 is actually pretty good. My van only gets 12. I can get it to like 15 or 16 if I put it on the highway and going about 75. If I can hold 75 miles an hour, I can up and do 15 or 16 miles per gallon in my van. But it was a work vehicle. It actually worked. It hauled tools around. It didn't work. It wasn't a dress van.
Let's see here. Ram 3500. It's got to be on their website somewhere.
Yeah, your RAV4 should actually get a little more than that. It only gets 24. Those are actually pretty halfway decent fuel economy vehicles.
Yeah, my CRV does better than that. And that's same class of vehicle.
He's talking about an 07, not newer one too.
Oh, well, yeah.
Not new. I was gonna say because my whatever that thing we just bought for my parents that pretty much I'm the only one that drives now. Chevy, whatever it is, little SUV thing. That gets like upper 20s, 25, 26, 27, something like that. But that's fairly new. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2017. 23 years old.
Engine and mechanical. 6.7 liter Cummins diesel. 6.7 liter Cummins diesel fuel economy.
Yeah, you gotta remember when you jack them all up, put lift kits in them, the gas mileage goes down too. You're twisting the whole drive shaft out of proportion.
Yeah, I don't see any official figure.
Yeah, it's because they don't want to let you know.
Right. Here's some guy with a forum post claiming to get 29 highway. I'm like, BS.
On the highway, you might be able to.
With a 6.7 liter turbo diesel and a 4-wheel drive 1-ton truck?
Probably not, but you never know.
I was going to say that'd be better fuel economy.
Jacked up.
That'd be better fuel economy than my CRV with a tiny little 4-cylinder in it.
That's the one thing I like about that new Chevy. I can't even think of what the hell it is. It's the middle of the road of the Chevy SUVs. There's like the 3 of them. Anyway, it's got a gas mileage reader. You know what you're getting. So you can replace the digital speedometer. You got the regular tach and the regular mechanical speed.
Right.
There's a little digital one, so you can change the digital to whatever you want it to read out, and it'll do gas mileage. And I love it when you're going like down a big hill and it says 99 miles per gallon.
Yeah, I was going to say those things aren't accurate even over distance.
It actually is, because I map it with my phone. Like every time I add gas, I put the mileage in and how much gas I is. And
because the one in my Honda Fit,
about the same I get off my phone, within a mile per gallon or two.
The one in my Honda Fit was always telling me that I was getting like 42 to 43 miles per gallon, which is 6 miles a gallon better than the EPA says it should be doing.
Yeah.
I doubt I was getting 6 miles a gallon better than the EPA said it should be getting on the highway.
Yes, Equinox. That's what it is. It's an Equinox. Is it an Equinox? I don't know. Got it really cheap because someone had smashed the front end and it was all freaking brand new. I was like, does it run? Yep. Does it still have a warranty? Yep. Is it a factory warranty? Yep. Our car still got a factory warranty. Everyone's like, oh, you got to buy the extended warranty. No, it's still got a factory warranty on it.
Yeah. I tell people all the time you don't need to avoid a car just because it has a rebuilt title, as long as the rebuild was done right.
Yeah.
And you plan, and I was like, because the only thing a rebuild title affects if the rebuild was done right is the resale value.
Yeah.
And if you don't ever plan to resell it, if you plan to drive it until the wheels fall off of it, who cares what the resale value is?
Even if the resale value is down, if you pay less, I paid almost $4,000 less for a newer one it only had 25,000 miles on it.
Right.
It was 2 years newer than the other ones that we were all looking at. It was 2 years newer. And it was
Just make sure you get any incident reports that went along with it to know where the
got the
damage occurred.
the whole front of it got stove.
Yeah, if you know where the damage
Right,
occurred, you know where to look for something that didn't get fixed right.
And it's fun. There's nothing wrong with it. It drives beautiful. I don't care.
Right.
And I paid $5,000 less for it. So if I have to take $5,000 off when my parents go to resell it, so be it. I paid $5,000 less, and I actually paid almost $10,000 less than an equivalent model, older one that hadn't been hit.
When we were shopping for our Honda Pilot before we bought this one, I went to go look at one that had a rebuilt title on it, and I could tell something was suspicious because when I got out of the vehicle and our vehicle, and I was walking around looking at it, and then I pulled out a flashlight and got down on my back and started crawling up under the car, and the guy's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you putting something under the car?" I'm like, "No, you said it's got a rebuilt title. I want to make sure it was rebuilt right." "You don't need to do that. I got all the paperwork here." I was like, I'd rather see for myself. Thanks.
Paperwork means nothing compared to the actual bolts.
Right. And I shine the flashlight up on because, Honda Pilots are unibody construction.
Yeah. Yep.
So I shine the flashlight up on the underside of the vehicle, and I could see where this thing had at one point looked like the rear end had been split in half like this. And they pulled it all back together, and spots were welded and other spots looked like they just used like a black sealant to close it up. And I said, "No, thanks.
Yeah, no.
I'm out of here." "What? It's a perfectly good vehicle." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's been split in half. You can't fix that right. You can fix it, but you can't fix it right."
Nope. There's no straightening out that crap. That's the one bad thing about unibodies. Once you actually crunch that area from the front seat, the nose of the front seat, to the tail end of the back seat, if you crunch that fold in the body, that gets kinked.
Well, my first indication was it had a trailer hitch on it, and the trailer hitch didn't seem to be sitting perfectly straight.
Yeah.
The trailer hitch was cocked off to one side just a little. And I went,
That ain't right.
Lifted out the flashlight. I got down on my back, and I started crawling up under it. He's like, "What are you doing?" The guy got all mad at me.
Exactly, Mr. Buttram. Crumple zones don't uncrumple.
So, yeah, I mean, the body had been split like all the way up through the part behind the back, the third row seats. It had been split all the way up to where like the third row seats mount.
Yeah.
I'm like, the whole back end of this thing was smashed. You can pull it back out and you can weld new body panels on the outside, but it's not right.
It's like my friend back when we used to drag race back in the 80s, early 90s. We both bought Camaros. And, we were building them for the drag strip. And I just, took it and built a little small block 350 because I was, that was going to be my everyday car. He bought it like, "I'm going to put a 400 big block in it and all this crap." So we go to the drag race, and, it's a local freaking Hicktown backwoods drag strip out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was actually an official NHRA at the time. It's not anymore. But, they used to let us go in on Saturdays. Sunday was the official drag race day. Saturdays, the local people like me and him would go there, and they just let us, like, time trial and play off. And you hand them $50.
In case they had the nights at our drag strip that were run what you brung.
Yeah. You can hand them $50 and they let you go nuts, and they bring the fire crew. It's basically to pay the fire crew. So in case you crash and die, they're covered. But anyways, so we get up on the line side by side. Now here I am, I'm running like a little 283 in an 80 Camaro, which is way heavier. And he's in a 1970 Camaro with a 455 big block all built and freaking, the whole 9 yards. He went all out. The only thing he didn't put on it was a blower. So we're on the line. And all of a sudden, the light goes green, and I take off. And I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and he's behind me, and he's just kind of gliding off to the side. I'm like, he blew his motor. I'm looking at it. It looks a little weird. So I spin around, come back, and I look at it. He never put the Camaros in unibodies.
Right.
When you put a big motor on a Camaro, they used to sell frame rail kits. They go underneath the pan to hold the car together. He never bought the rail.
So he just twisted it.
He took the whole car, went dunk. His freaking driver's side front tire never touched the ground again. It was like 6 inches off the ground. He literally twisted the whole car. I was like, you dumbass. Even I, with my little 283, bought a rail kit for this thing. They weren't even expensive back then. They were like $100. It was just a box of freaking steel that you weld up underneath it. That's all it was. They were cheap. Hell, you go out and get a couple of bed rails and weld them up underneath there, and it would help at least. Nope. He put that monster motor in there, and it just twisted that car in half. It was the funniest thing I ever saw. He was pissed. He had like 20, 30 grand invested in that car back then, which is like, 50, 100 grand nowadays.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much useless. The car was pretty much stoked. Yeah, they never really changed the body pan.
Yeah,
it was actually a little more solid because that's why there wasn't a. What year wasn't there one? 78, 79, 78. Because of the safety regulations came through and they had to put the safeties in the door, and Chevy didn't want to do it. So there's no Trans Am, there's no Camaro for like 1 year because they didn't want to have to put the rail in the door.
67 through 69 was the first gen, then 70 through 81 second gen, and 82 through 92 third gen.
Yeah, because mine was the last one that had that weird. It looked like the 70s Camaros, but it really wasn't. It had the plastic nose, and it wasn't a fiberglass nose like the 70s. It was a plastic, rubbery nose like they did in the 80s. And I didn't really like the 80s Camaro. That was kind of butt ugly.
See, I like the third gen F bodies. That's the 82 through 92.
Yeah, it's it. It looked like your Fiero. That's why.
I had my 86 Trans Am that I loved.
I didn't really like that much.
That I bought for $600.
I like the rounder look better, with the rounder headlights and stuff.
Yeah, GM has a way of keeping a body style alive for a long time and just making it look like a different car by slapping some different fenders and front clips on stuff.
Absolutely nothing wrong with a Chevy. Chevys are just fine. Just like Fords are just fine. The only brand I shy away from these days is a Dodge, and only because I just don't like the way they ride. I don't think they're bad cars. They're just uncomfortable to me. Oh, the 231 was a freaking ballsy little bastard. That's what I broke my neck in. Was the Buick 231 freaking supercharged. I took one of those. That's how I broke my neck. I had a Buick 231 supercharged that I put in a Pontiac Sunbird. Remember the old?
Oh, I think the 86 Camaro that he's referring to, that would have been the 2.8 liter V6. Those it was the same engine they were putting that same engine but without the fuel injection on S10s, and then the same engine was in the GT Fieros, and
that's what I have in my van now. That thing runs like a freaking bear. It still runs beautiful.
Well, my 85 S10 had the 2.8 V6, and I used to refer to it as the wheezing mule because on a cold morning when you were driving, it's what it sounded like.
Yeah. 263 or 261 or whatever. That's what my V6 is in the van. That thing's a freaking nut house. It just, you can't kill it. I'd run it completely out of
what year of van is it?
It runs fine. Never done anything to it but put water pumps in it.
What year is your van?
2003.
They weren't making the 2.8 anymore.
236. No. 261 or whatever it's called. Can't remember what size it is. I want to say 283, but that's the Ford V8.
V6 displacement.
The 5-liter V6. It's a big V6.
The 4.3 is what
Yeah.
you're referring to. Yeah, the 4.3s, you can't kill a 4.3. A 4.3 is a 4.3 V6 is the it's the 350 with 2 cylinders lopped off of it.
Yep, basically. It's freaking tough, too. It's got balls, even still, with
It's your
230,000
same
miles.
head
It'll-
bolts and everything with a 350 V8.
Yeah.
It's literally a 350 V8 that they just lopped 2 cylinders off of.
I'll tell you what, when my neighbor first he bought a van from Ford, brand spanking new with a 350 in it. Regular old, Chevy 250 or E250, whatever, the basic whatever model. We went to pick it up in my van. He dropped off his old one. We took all of his crap out of his old van and put it in my van. He didn't want to put it in a new one because we always built custom shelves and carpet and all that to protect it. So he didn't want to load all the tools in it to take them back out. I said, that's fine. We'll throw them in my van. Him and 2 of the guys got in his van, and I got in my van with all the tools, which way outweigh the people. And we're getting on the highway, and that's back in the days of the beep beep phones from Sprint where you could walkie talkie. He's like, dude, let's race. I'm like, all right, figuring, he's got a 350 and a brand spanking new van. He's going to smoke me. I freaking walked away from him. I just walked away from him. Now, once we get going up, we're going over to Baldwin Bridge up here. Once we get going up over the bridge, my van would start slowing down and he'd walk past me. But off the line, my van freaking smoked him.
The 2.8 liter V6 that Ryan was talking about, that's a 173 cubic inch.
I never played with that. I only had the 231s in this thing. It's the only GM ones I had. That 231 was.
I never understood why they ever put those in a Camaro.
That's like putting a 4. They put 4 cylinders in Camaros for a while.
Did they?
Yeah. The 80s model Camaros had 4 cylinders. You could get it with a 4-cylinder. It was a big 4-cylinder. It was like the hell was it, a 195 or 193 or a 205 or something like that, 4-cylinder.
Well, back then, the 4-cylinder they put in everything was the Iron Duke 2.5.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess they did.
Yeah.
Boasted.
For like 3 years, I think they did it. And the Camaros and the.
Yeah, and it was the 2.5. It was the Iron Duke. Those Iron Dukes run forever too, though.
Yeah, but they're not powerful. They're not powerful.
They're not. The little mail Jeeps you see driving up and down the street.
Yeah,
they're noisy, clattery little motors. Those are 2.5 liter Iron Dukes.
Yeah, they'll run forever, but they got no balls behind them.
No, that's what's in the. If you got a Fiero and you didn't get a GT.
Yeah, yep. I was gonna say I didn't know what they put in the Fiero.
But it was plenty. It was plenty of motor for a Fiero.
Yeah, well, the Fiero. Actually, the '80s Camaros weren't that heavy. They were pretty light.
I'm sure it was much heavier than a
Late
Fiero.
'70s, early '80s, when they first started. The U.S. first started all the safety crap, side crash. The Camaro got really heavy.
Curb weight of 1,525 kilograms, so 3,362 pounds.
Yeah.
So the third Gen F body was 3,300 pounds.
My Camaro, fully built with the 231 and everything in it, when I took it to the dragster and weighed it up, was 4,300 pounds.
Yeah. While the Fiero's curb weight, the 4-cylinder one was 2,400 pounds.
Yeah.
So it was 900 pounds lighter than a Camaro.
Yeah. Let's say, because my Camaro, my 80 Camaro was 4,300 pounds in the drag strip. That's, fully built, ram kit on it, built rear end, the whole 9 yards, which was heavy. It was like 500-600 pounds heavier than any other Camaros that I was racing against. but I wasn't trying to be the fastest. I was bracket racing.
Oh, wow.
So I put the smallest motor I could in it with the heaviest car, smallest, torqueiest motor, because quarter mile, the best thing, you don't want a powerhouse, you want a torque. Because you don't need a lot of power, you need a lot of torque.
Yeah, if GM would have produced the 1990 Fiero, there would not be a Corvette today. The 1990 Fiero would have killed the Corvette.
Yeah, I don't think so. You're not going to get rid of a Corvette. Never stop building a Corvette. That's just you're going to do it.
The Corvette guys were afraid of that. That's why they went to the bean counters at GM and made them kill the Fiero.
Yeah, you're not going to get rid of the Corvette. The Corvette,
because the
prestige.
The 1990 Fiero was going to have a twin dual overhead cam 3.4 liter all aluminum V6.
Mm-hmm.
That was 230 horse or 240 horse. Yeah, 240 horse.
Yeah. There's too many hicks that just rely on the name Corvette for each thing that you'd never get.
But if you could buy a 2-seater sports car that was midship designed, weighed less, and had more horsepower for less money,
for about half the price.
Right. And that's exactly what the guys in the Corvette division over at GM were afraid was going to happen when they saw the specs of the prototype 1990 Fiero. Because you were going to have a car that cost almost half of what a Corvette cost and was going to have 5 more horsepower, be lighter weight with a mid-engine, so it would handle better and outrun it. Because at the time, the restrictions on everything only had the 350 that was going in the Corvettes at back in 1990 only put out like 235 horse.
Putting away. Anyway, I think I'm going to kill it because I got some stuff to do. I was hoping this thing would be done by now, but it isn't quite done. The hell was that? Is that your phone? That was a weird ding.
It's the stock ding that comes with iPhones.
It sounded weird. I should go out and play in the driveway, but it's too freaking hot out. My whole driveway is completely freaking eroded out front from all the rain. But I got to bring in some laundry and do some crap. The Supras were nice.
The one that they used on Fast and the Furious?
A lot of them. There's a bunch of Supras. They were just nice. They were just nice cars. The Supra was just a well-engineered, all-around nice car. Especially the earlier models, I kind of like better. I like the look of them better. A friend of mine had one of those. When I broke my neck, that's what he put me in. They couldn't get me in the car when I first broke my neck because of the halo and everything. Mm-hmm. And they literally took the sunroof out, and 3 of them picked me up and slid me into the sunroof. Get me out of the car. I'm not kidding you. 3 guys picked me up, slid me in the sunroof.
That's funny.
Picked me up, took me out of the car that way. And then they're like, we're not doing that again. And a friend of mine went and got his freaking pickup truck. Picked me up like that to get me home. They took me out drinking with a halo.
Just slide him in the bed.
Huh?
Just slide you in the bed of the truck, right?
No, I got enough passengers there. The Supra was just too low and everything. I couldn't bend over to get my head in under the door jamb. So they literally slid me in the freaking skylight. And then he went home and got his pickup truck and came back.
The rotor. And now Mr. Beltram's talking rotary engines.
Wankel.
The RX-7.
Wankels are really, really good, except for they have one problem. They're good for about 50,000 miles, and then you got to rebuild them. Kind of like the 231 was. The Chevy 231, that Buick was just freaking nutsy for such a little V6.
That's the 3.8 they put in the Grand National, right?
Yeah, that was the Buick. Yep.
And the 3.8 that they turbocharged in the Grand National, and it was the fastest production car in 1987.
That's what I broke my neck in, was one of them. I put it in a Pontiac Sunbird, but that was the motor. And they went really fast. And there was a buttload of them in the drag strip back in the day, but they were zip bang. You got maybe 3 runs out of the thing, and it blew up.
A naturally aspirated version of that is what we had in our and predecessor to the one that went in the Grand National, obviously. My parents had a 78 Chevy Monza, and it had a naturally aspirated 3.8 V6, and it was quick. It was a 4-speed manual.
Yep.
And that thing would put you back in the seat.
Yeah, no, they buggied. They had torque. Lots of it. Not a whole lot of high end, but they had torque. But they blew up real easy too. Like real easy.
We had 1978 vehicles, and all 3 of them got totaled at the same time when I was a kid. A kid hot rodding after getting off of high school came plowing through our yard and just crushed all 3 vehicles.
Awesome.
In a 25 mile per hour zone, he hit them going an estimated 63 miles an hour.
Yeah, I done shit like that. I was a dumbass when I was a kid. Anyway,
and amazingly, he wasn't hurt.
Because I'm hearing a bitch now. How the hell did that happen? Butt nut. Anyway. I don't even know how it clicked on that. I mean, I moved my mouse over it, but I never clicked on it. Anyway, I got to go because, for one, I got to pee, and then I got to bring the laundry in because Mom's bitching at me already. I can hear it now.
You reminded me. I got to put laundry in the dryer.
All right. We're off. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. See ya.
Later.